Dinosaurs, the biggest losers in history. Hey everyone, today we're talking about the most successful failures in Earth's history. Dinosaurs. These creatures ruled the planet for 165 million years. That's not a typo. 165 million years. And then poof, gone. Wiped out by a rock from space. Humans have been around for about 300,000 years. That's it. We're basically newborns compared to dinosaurs. And yet we're the ones making YouTube videos about them. So who really won? Let's get into it. Let's start with the king of dinosaurs, the Tyrannosaurus rex, the T-Rex. This thing was 40 feet long, 12 meters of pure muscle, teeth the size of bananas, the strongest bite force of any land animal ever. It could crush a car like a soda can, and it had arms the size of my arms, actually smaller. A T-Rex's arms were about 3 feet long. That's it for a 40-foot animal. Imagine a 6-foot human with 3-inch arms. You can't even reach your own face. You can't scratch your nose. You can't wave. You can't even do a proper shrug. Scientists still argue about what those arms were for. Some say they use them to hold prey. Some say they use them to push themselves up after lying down. Some say they use them to wave at other T-Rexes. Nobody knows. But here's what I know. The T-Rex was the king of dinosaurs, and it couldn't reach its own mouth. That's comedy. Imagine a T-Rex trying to eat chips. It just stares at the bag, can't open it, can't reach it, just roars in frustration. The Stegosaurus had 2 brains. One was useless. This dinosaur is famous for the plates on its back and the spikes on its tail. Looks like a weaponized tank. Very intimidating. But here's the thing. The Stegosaurus had a brain the size of a walnut. A walnut. For an animal that weighed 5 tons, that's like having a smartphone with a calculator processor. And because its brain was so small, scientists actually thought for a long time that Stegosaurus had a second brain in its butt. Yes, you heard me. There's a cavity near its tail that some paleontologists thought might hold a second brain to control the back legs and tail. That theory has been debunked now, but for years, people believed the Stegosaurus was literally thinking with its behind. Imagine being so dumb you need a backup brain in your rear end. That's the Stegosaurus, and even with 2 brains, it still went extinct. So maybe that second brain wasn't helping much. And the Brachiosaurus was basically a giant giraffe on steroids. Now let's talk about the long necks. The Brachiosaurus, this thing was 85 feet long, 26 meters. That's longer than a basketball court. Its neck alone was 30 feet. It could look into a 4th floor window without trying. And it ate plants, just plants, all that size, all that power, and it was a vegetarian. It spent its entire day eating leaves. That's it, wake up, eat leaves, walk a little, eat more leaves, sleep, repeat for 100 years. And here's the funny part, because its head was so high up, its heart had to be massive to pump blood all the way to its brain. We're talking a heart the size of a car. That's not a heart, that's an engine. Imagine having to listen to that thing beating all day. Boom, boom, boom. You'd never sleep. Also, the Brachiosaurus couldn't chew. It just swallowed leaves whole. No chewing, just gulp, then let its stomach figure it out. So this giant, impressive dinosaur basically ate like someone who forgot their teeth at home. Okay, this one hurts, because Jurassic Park lied to all of us. In the movies, Velociraptors are these huge, terrifying creatures that hunt in packs and open doors. They're the size of a grown man. They're smart. They're scary. In real life, Velociraptors were the size of a turkey. A turkey? Yes. The terrifying dinosaur that haunted your childhood was basically an angry chicken with teeth. It was about 6 feet long, but most of that was tail. It weighed about 30 pounds. A large dog could take it. And the real Velociraptor had feathers. Feathers. So not only was it turkey-sized, it was also fluffy. Imagine being chased by a turkey. That's the real Velociraptor experience. The dinosaur that was supposed to be the ultimate predator was basically dinner for anything bigger than it. It probably spent most of its time hiding from T-Rexes and trying not to get stepped on. Another thing Jurassic Park didn't tell you, pterodactyls weren't dinosaurs. They were flying reptiles, completely different category. That's like calling a bat a bird. Close, but no. And the real pterodactyl wasn't this massive flying monster. The largest ones had wingspans of about 30 feet, which is impressive, but most were much smaller. They basically looked like giant seagulls with teeth. Also, scientists aren't even sure how they flew. Their anatomy was so weird that some researchers think they couldn't actually take off from the ground. They had to climb up something and drop. Like a flying squirrel with commitment issues. So imagine being a pterodactyl. You want to fly, but first you have to climb. You're a reptile, you're not fast, you just awkwardly climb a tree, look around to make sure no one's watching, then jump and hope for the best. Okay, let's talk about how it all ended. 66 million years ago, an asteroid the size of a mountain hit Earth. It was 10 kilometers wide. That's 6 miles. For context, that's bigger than Mount Everest. When it hit, the explosion was more powerful than millions of nuclear bombs. The dinosaurs didn't even see it coming. One minute they're eating leaves, the next minute there's a fireball and everything is gone. But here's the wild part. The dinosaurs didn't all die immediately. The ones that survived the initial impact had to deal with the aftermath. The sky turned dark, the planet cooled, plants died, the food chain collapsed, and the only dinosaurs that survived? Birds, yes. Birds are literally the descendants of dinosaurs. That pigeon on your balcony, tiny dinosaur, that chicken on your plate, dinosaur nugget. So dinosaurs aren't extinct, they just became smaller, dumber, and learned to fly, and now they sit on telephone wires and poop on cars. Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for 165 million years. They were massive, terrifying, and completely ridiculous. They had tiny arms, tiny brains, and questionable life choices. And in the end, a rock from space ended their entire civilization. Meanwhile, we humans have been here for 300,000 years. We have YouTube, we have airplanes, we have vaccines, we have the ability to watch dinosaur documentaries and laugh at them. But let's be honest, if an asteroid came tomorrow, we'd be just as doomed. We have fancy technology, but we still can't stop a space rock, so maybe we're not that different from dinosaurs. We're just the current tenants. The dinosaurs had their turn, we're having ours. And someday something else will be making videos about us. Probably something with tentacles, or maybe our own pigeons will evolve and take over. Who knows? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, share it with someone who still thinks velociraptors were big. They need to know the truth. And remember, you're related to dinosaurs. Your ancestors survived the asteroid. So next time someone calls you a dinosaur, just thank them. See you in the next one.